All right, this video is going to be something a little different. You've seen previous videos of mine where I talk about the Ruger RXM and some of the cool things that I like about it, and I talked about Glock mags and a couple other things. And I've owned several Glocks in the past. I've had Glocks with all kinds of different sights. I've tried all the iron sight versions. I've tried red dots. I did that for a couple of years to kind of get an idea of what that was all about, and really understood what it was like to have a red dot and how to use it. And I understand all of it. Now I'm not an expert. I'm a very average shooter at best, but I understand the reason behind the red dot, and it's target focused. And, there's benefits of, being a little faster and some things like that. And I liked it, but I kind of didn't for a couple of reasons. And one is I don't like relying on electronics. Just not my thing for a defensive firearm. It's just me. That's the way I feel about it. The other is I have an astigmatism. So with red dots, it really doesn't make sense for me to use them the way that they're supposed to be used, because I have to be in kind of some very certain circumstances to use a red dot. I either have to have glasses on, or I got to have contacts in, or kind of, the lighting even matters for me for those kinds of things. And so I went back to iron sights for a while, and I can shoot iron sights fine. I really like doing that. But I wanted to think of a way, because the benefits of what I liked about the red dot is I did like that, I had something to look through, kind of a frame, we'll call it, where I feel like I had reference points to what I was aiming at, or, trying to get a target on, right? And so I really liked those reference points, left to right, top to bottom. I loved that I have a much bigger shell for different manipulations, whether I have to, use it, one hand manipulations, or even with two hands. It was very easy to rack the slide, all those types of things, right? So all the structural benefits of a red dot I really liked. I liked looking through something to acquire my target. That I did prefer. And so I started thinking, you know what? I want to try to find the right set of iron sights that I can pick up really well. But then I want to kind of combine that with the benefits that I liked about the red dot. And so to be really straightforward and honest with what I did is I just removed the glass from a budget optic. Now this one that I have here, and I'll clear this so you can see there's no magazine. I do have a barrel flag in here, so it's empty and safe. But this is just a knockoff Trijicon sight. It's based off of the Trijicon HD, the RMR HD, and it's a very robust, sturdy frame. It's aluminum, so it's built well. I'm not worried about the construction. Everything there is good, but obviously the electronics and the glass are garbage, right? Which I didn't care about. So this was very easy for me to put this in place. And so just for the sake of being extra safe, I'm just gonna open this, and so I can kind of show you guys here, because it's pointed towards me a little bit. But you can see, let me see if I can give you guys some kind of a decent view here of that sight picture. Let's see if I can. I know it's kind of tough. Sorry, I'm on camera here and trying to do that, but it's probably going to be tough to show you through here. The reason I like this is I get all those benefits like I mentioned, right? I get all the structural benefits of the red dot. But what I've found and I've shot this a little bit, but I need to really get out and do this more to really give a full honest opinion, and I'll do some update videos after shooting it more. But what I've found so far is that it gives me really, really accurate index points, or frame points, let's call them, when I bring the gun up to the target. I can see how to line up the sights left and right a lot easier. I can get my point of reference to my target and still kind of stay semi-target focused with this. I feel like I can come up and just frame my target with this, and then the sights are much easier for me to get lined up and get to that target. Now, some of the argument to this would be, well, now you have to line up the frame of the red dot with the sights. Well, that's true, but I feel like I'm not really having to do much with that first part. If I'm going to bring the gun up and aim to the sights anyway, left to right, top to bottom, and I have an advantage to giving me a reference point left to right, top to bottom to acquire those sights faster, then I'm all for that. And so it's very different, way outside of the box. But I do think that optics are headed this way. Not in the exact way I have it configured here, but I do think that we're going to start to see some optics that are more threat focused but reference point type optics, and where we don't have to rely on electronics and those types of things. And some of the most reliable ones, as far as not getting dirt or dust or sand or fog or whatever in the way of the red dot sight, is their closed emitter sights. Well, now you have this giant, basically, mailbox on the top of your gun, which some guys prefer that, and that's fine. But if that's the case, then why aren't we thinking differently? Why aren't optics makers going, you know what, that's great, and if people prefer that, that's perfect, but there's got to be a market and a pretty good amount of people that would rather have a sight. They don't have to have this big giant mailbox on the top of their on the top of their gun, or that they don't want to rely on the electronics and they like the structural benefits of a red dot. So that was kind of my thinking with this, and my opinion really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but maybe it's beneficial to listen to somebody that has similar thoughts on sights and what they feel about red dots. So just to kind of wrap this up, and I don't want this to be too long of a video. This all I did is, it's very easy to knock out the glass. Basically, you'll just find what I used was I just used a clamp to hold this against something solid, and then you can just come in through the front and break that glass. And once you get it broken, it's very easy to pop the rest of that out. It's not hard to do. And then I just took out all of the electronics. I just took them out. I didn't even leave them in there. And then put the battery compartment cover back on, and just used a purple Loctite to make sure that stayed where it belongs. I did the mounting screws the same way that you would normally mount a red dot. And then one thing that I did that, and these are Trijicon Bright and Tough night sights is what is on here. I liked them for the height because I get my co-witness on this is more to like a third, almost a half of the sight picture through this frame. And so that's kind of how I set this up. But one thing that I did is, once I got the frame of this red dot prepared, I basically took the bottom of this and I just kind of took off a thickness of it so that I can set it deeper onto the slide of the gun, which made it a lot more appealing to me to look through it. And so it's probably I don't even know how much I took off. I just went based off of what it looked like and felt like, and it seems to work for me. Excuse me, but I think that there's different ways that you could set it up. Maybe you like it a little higher, maybe you want taller sights, and you're good with the height of this frame. But that's what I did. So I took a little bit off the bottom of that frame. I did use a Trijicon ceiling plate, which for me made sense just to protect the openings in the Ruger RXM with the extra openings they have in there. I just wanted to kind of protect those a little bit. So I did that, and that was it. And the other cool thing I like about the HD version of the RMR is I do have this sight up on top here. And so when I bring this up and I start to get to that sight picture, this actually gives me an additional reference point to where the center of the slide is, essentially. And then I get my framing picture like I mentioned earlier. So that's it. It's that simple. Hopefully this is valuable to listen to, get a different insight. Could be crazy, could be along the lines of what other people are thinking. Comments, thoughts, whatever is welcome. Everybody's opinion matters in some way or another. So tell me what you guys think, and I'll give you guys some more updates when I get out there and shoot this some more.